Hello and welcome to the news today on Proson Radio and Television. I am Salwan Idoga. First a look at the headline. Audit reveals 2.4 billion of 7 billion FX claims not valid. Cardoso. NLC split as DSS1, TUC labor against planned protests. Danny Alves awaits trial, verdict as court summons all parties. New attempt at Gaza ceasefire are underway. Israel's Gantz says, I want to show love to President Tinubu. Reproach. And now the news in detail. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, said the Deloitte audit revealed that 2.4 billion out of the reported 7 billion of outstanding foreign exchange liabilities of the federal government are not valid for settlement. Cardoso made this revelation in an interview on Monday. He disclosed that the bank has settled verified FS request, which is announced amounted to 2.3 billion. The CBN governor added that the current total outstanding FX obligations stood at 2.2 billion. Cardoso further indicated that part of the 7 billion in outstanding FX claims was fraudulent, citing the outcome of a forensic audit by Deloitte Management Consultant, which was commissioned by the Apex Bank. The CBN governor said he was confident that the outstanding FX liability would be addressed shortly. Cardoso assured Nigerians that CBN would pay for FX requests that were not validly constituted, adding that the bank has written to authorize dealers to explain the disparities identified. Moving on, the trade union Congress has backed out of the planned two-day nationwide protest declared by Nigerian Labour Congress over the high cost of living, inflation, insecurity, and hardship in the country. The vice president of the TUC, Tommy Etten, said on Wednesday the decision to protest on February 27th and 28th, announced by the NLC, was not taken collectively by both unions. The TUC, in a letter dated February 19, 2024, written by its Secretary General, Dr. Nuhu Toro, said the NLC unilaterally took the decision on the planned protest. Etten, in the interview with one of our correspondents, confirmed the letter addressed to the NLC President, Mr. Joe Ajero, adding that the virtue of the letter, there is no way we can join the protest. This is happening as the Department of State Service warned organized labor against the planned mass action, saying it could be hijacked. The NLC had on February 16 declared a two-day protest, which would begin after the aspiration of a 14-day ultimatum issued to the federal government, which will expire on February 22nd today. The warning was on account of the alleged failure of the government to implement the agreements reached on October 2nd, following the removal of fuel subsidy and other economic reform, which had triggered high transportation costs, inflation, and general hardship. The situation had provoked protests across the country, with youth and women taking to streets over food inflation and high costs of living. And now sports. Former Brazilian international Dani Alves, who is awaiting a verdict in his rape trial, which closed 2 weeks ago, will appear in court on Thursday, judicial source said. In a brief statement, the Barcelona court said on Wednesday it has summoned all parties in Alves' case, including the defendant, to appear in court on February 22nd at 10 a.m. for a so-called notification procedure. Contacted by AFP, neither the court nor Alves' lawyer would confirm Spanish media report that it was for the verdicts not to be handed down. One of the world's most decorated footballers who played the Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain during a storied career, Alves went on trial on charges of raping a woman at the Sultan nightclub in the early hours of December 31st, 2022. During a trial, the complainant, whose identity had been protected, said Alves had violently forced her to have sex, despite begging him to let her go, causing her anguish, terror, according to the prosecutor. But the three-time Champions League winner told the court they had consensual sex, denying he raped her. Prosecutors are calling for a 9-year jail sentence followed by 10 years of probation and want him to pay 150,000 euros in compensation. On the international scene, new attempts are on the way to reach a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas that could pause the war in Gaza. A member of Israel's war cabinet said late Wednesday initial signs indicate a possibility of moving forward, said Benny Gantz, a former military chieftain and defense minister. It's the first Israeli indication of renewed ceasefire talks since negotiations stalled a week ago. However, Gantz repeated his pledge that unless Hamas agrees to release the remaining Israeli hostage in Gaza, Israel will launch a ground offensive into the ground of southern city of Rafah during the upcoming Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Israel's war in Gaza has driven 80% of the population of 2.3 million from their homes. Most headed Israel orders to flee south, and around 1.5 million are packed into Rafah, near the borders with Egypt. Israel's strike across Gaza killed at least 67 Palestinians overnight into Wednesday, including in areas where civilians have been told to seek refuge. Up next is the entertainment news with Evelyn.
Thank you, Samuel. And here's the entertainment news update. American rapper Rick Ross has expressed his intention to show love to Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu and also bring attention to the Nigerian culture. He made this known in a video that went viral on X on Wednesday. The hip-hop legend said he wants to show love to world leaders and shine a light on global cultures, beginning with Nigeria and its leader, President Bola Tinubu. Rick Ross said, "I want to show love to the presidents of some of these amazing countries. I just want to bring attention to the cultures and amazing artists. Let's start with Nigeria, Bola Tinubu." Recall that Rick Ross recently revealed his intention to collaborate with some African artists, including Ashake, Odumodu Black, Ghana Stonebwoy and Black Sherif, and Nasty C from South Africa for his upcoming studio album, Champagne Moment. The 48-year-old rapper has previously collaborated with P-Square, Yemi Alade, and Tanzania's Diamond Platnumz. Let's see what Rick Ross has for Nigerians. Back to you, Samuel Udoga.
Thank you, Evelyn Bat. Once again, a look at the headline. Audit reveals 2.4 billion of 7 billion FX claimed, not valid. Cardoso. NLC split as DSS warns TUC, Labour against planned protests. Danny Elvis awaits rape trial, verdict as court summons all parties. New attempt at Gaza ceasefire are on the way. Israel's Gantz says, "I want to show love to President Tinubu," Rick Ross. And with that, we end the news today on Prosium Radio and Television. You can get the latest news on our website at www.prosiumnews.com. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel at Prosium RTV. You can also get the latest news on our social media platform, Facebook, Thread, Instagram, and TikTok. On behalf of the production crew, thank you for watching, and do remember to keep shining like the star you are.